Lafia, everyone. I am Ifayemisi Elebuibon. Some might know me as Rabbi Ifayemi Elebuibon's daughter. Some might know me through my books, and some through doing business with me on my business page and websites, Yalaji Market. And for those who don't know the face behind the Yalaji Market, now you can put a face to the name. What am I here today? Today is can I say iconic, but it's maybe not iconic, but it's significant day for me because I'm tagging this answering the call of Ori and embracing destiny, because this me putting myself out now, getting candid in eventually embracing my Ori, answering the call of Ori, and just embracing my destiny, and feeling that shoe and feeling that space that has been preserved for me for so long, and becoming awesome. Can I say that? Just because, let me just say this. I'm not the type of person that ever has the question of who I'm truly am or what I'm supposed to be doing. I know who I am and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. In the light of not doing that, I wasn't finding fulfillment in some aspect of my life because I feel that I am failing, or perhaps I'm going in a circle, going back to, get to the same message from the reading, or perhaps having the repetition of experiencing the same, situation over and over again. And me being a very sensitive person, I have to sit myself down and just, look deeply into what's going on in my life. What am I not doing? Why is certain blessing not coming my way? And I need something. I need to connect the dots and embrace the next phase of my life. I had to sit down and talk to myself and deliberate. I just don't want to do something. Sometimes not just because I cannot, but I don't want to do something that only just because it's expected of me to do, because of my family lineage and heritage, or maybe because of my last name, or the household that I come from. I want to do something that aligns with my own Ori. I want to set my own footprint, have my own footprint in the world, and do things that I'm motivated about. But that's something that's going to be a representation of me and the generation, my descendant, and the generation that is going to come out of me, and set a footprint, set like a path for them to follow. In essence, I just want to do something that destiny have reserved for me to do. I thought I was imposing certain thing on myself because I was passionate about it. I didn't realize it was destiny speaking. I never realized that was just what I was destined to do, because I imposed some things on myself that I'm going to be the voice for this. I'm going to be cultural ambassador. If the rest of the world stop practicing in Nigeria, stop practicing Yoruba traditional spiritual practice today, I'm going to be, my household is going to be the last person doing it, or the only person left doing it. But I thought maybe it was something that it was self-imposed. So that's why I fought it so hard and not embracing it wholeheartedly as I was supposed to. But at the same time, my journey coming to America, what was important for me is going to school, getting an education, and having a professional life. Because I just don't want to be I want to be regular. I saw something that has been done around me, and I want to add my own part to it. But in doing that, I just don't want to do it the same way everybody else is doing it. I remember when I was still living in Nigeria, my mom will always tell me, "Oh, you need to learn you need to do this, you need to do that," and I will always fight on that. Like, why do we all have to do the same thing? Like, we have enough babalawo in this household. We have, enough babalawo in Oshobo, Osun State and stuff like that. Like, I want to be different. I want to do something different. I want to bring something else to the table that other people are not saying. But, that's just natural me. It's not being stubborn. It's not stubborn. It's not me being stubborn, but that's just how I felt. And at the same time, coming to America, I don't want to be here and just say, now that I have the opportunity of being here, now I'm doing something that I really don't want to do just because I saw that it's economically viable here. I don't want that to be my motivation for doing something. And this me fighting destiny, and I'm putting this video not just because of the spiritual essence of it, but it's applicable to every aspect of our life, because sometimes we question, why are we here? Sometimes you may find yourself wondering, what is my goal? And then even after you set goals for yourself and you achieved it, and then you want to know, like, how the rest of your life is going to be. What's the next thing for you? What's the next phase of your life? What are you supposed to be doing next? And then, finding your purpose on earth has always been the quintessential question on people's mind, on everyone's life. Like, most don't know the answer. A lot of people, or maybe some people, spend the rest of their life looking for that answer, finding that purpose. Some are fortunate to eventually find that purpose earlier on in life. But even though a lot of people know what they are supposed to be doing, but because the way the life is so positioned now, they are not able to fully embrace their destiny, or doing, answering the call of their ori because they have to eat. It might not be the same thing that you can do and have a financial prosperity on. And that's why we, as a human being, we have to be careful of our actions and, the kind of responsibility that we impose on other people, and how we talk down on people. A lot of people don't necessarily are going to be rich, but when we make life so tedious and so expensive for people to be poor, it becomes a problem, because poverty can also be a reason why people are not able to achieve what they are here to do, because people need to eat first, and they are always more motivated to engage in something that is going to give them financial prosperity, as opposed to something that is purposeful. It doesn't, just having purpose alone doesn't pay us the bill. And eventually, when you find out purpose, the next question that I think that I ask myself is, are you going to be content? Are you going to feel complete? Are you going to allow yourself to enjoy going through that phase? Because it might not be as great or as grand that you think it will be. So finding one purpose in life doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be something grand, something popular and stuff like that. It might be as little as possible, but when you actually find it, is it going to be enough for you? Is it going to give you that satisfaction? That, or that as the acceptance now becomes the key. Are you going to accept yourself for who you are? Because in this life, we are all on a journey, and the journey, unfortunately, one day is going to end up in death, sadly. How well you travel and how you adjust to the things on your journey, sometimes that is just what matters. How well we live our life. And you can consult through Ifa, you can do physical searching, you can do soul searching, and some people may just surrender to destiny, or surrender to the universe, and let the universe find that purpose for them. I'm in the hands of God now. I'm just waiting for God to talk to me, or just give me that guidance. And that's why we as Olorisha have let me just say a little bit head start than someone that doesn't have any spiritual inclination or does not possess any spiritual tools to go into the past and fix a problem, or go into the future and make it, better. For us as a Yoruba spiritual practitioner, we are able to have initiation, do a sentaye, get reading, and this thing offers direction on which way to go in life. What's the next thing for me? It answers that question for us, the reason why we are here, what we are supposed to be doing, what we are not supposed to be doing, the kind of business that we can engage in or not engage in, and it goes, and stuff like that. And then us doing all this consultation also possesses its own downside, because now that you have this tool that you can use to look into the future, the downside is just like it makes us lazy sometimes. It makes us not want to be accountable. It prevents us from certain life experience only because we don't want to say we messed up. Oh no, I didn't mess up. I was only following the direction of Ifa. It's always easy to blame a spirit than to hold ourselves accountable to the reason why we didn't do something or why something is not working. So, and then another thing is just like we become so dogmatic about some of the messages, and we stop being rational and sit down and still think, because at the end of the day, even if I predict something for you, as human, as a rational thinking person, you still have to sit yourself down and figure out how that is practical for you, and also apply that into your life. Like I said, feeling unfulfilled and find myself moving in a circle, and just thinking about what is the next thing for me. I know I want to be married. I know I want to have more children, and there's a lot of things that I know I want to achieve. And God forbid I die today. Like I used to share with my brother, like the only regret I will have beside leaving my young daughter would just be like, not fulfilling in the aspect of helping people. Actually, offering myself to the society as a useful tool to bring healing into the life of others. And that's the only thing that I know that I haven't been doing much of. And I intend to dedicate the rest of my life into doing that. And not just that alone, there are other things that I know I can do personally. But marrying the two together, it becomes something necessary for me to do. Because for me to get my life right, it's not only beneficial to me, it is beneficial to other people whom I know or think Olodumare have, put them on my path, or put me on their path, or maybe something that has been destined that Ifayemisi is going to be someone to liberate you or help you, or maybe you listen to some of my songs that I wrote, or you watch my documentary, or you read my book, and you receive message that helps you change your life. If I'm not doing all that, I'm not going to help you receive your own blessing. So now the prayer is just like, praying that people that is going to be benefit to you, to get their heart together so that you can receive your blessing. And also for you to prepare yourself in a way that when that blessing comes, it's going to be of benefit to you, that it's not going to harm you in any way. Personally, I believe everyone in the world needs to find their own calling. A life without purpose is a life with void. Because if you don't find your calling, find something that is for you, you will live the rest of your life always looking for an answer. And then once you are dead, you can come back and say, oh, I wish I could, or maybe let me go back and, and do it all over again. Like it took me a lot of time, a lot of soul searching to finally embrace the calling of my Ori. And all that it compounds, and taking the good, the bad, and the ugly. And for me, answering this call, I'm prepared for the challenge that it's going to bring to me personally. It's not always that, it's not really that I'm anticipating something bad to happen, but they said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You know, uh, you already know where you are going, you know who you are, and you know what you need to do to get there. But the problem, the challenge, most of the challenges that brings is actually finding the right people to journey through life together, and help make that dreams come to life. Like I have never been the type of person that always doubt who I am. When I was young, I already know what I want to do with my. That's the something that is so surprising about me. I started off wanting to be a lawyer, and I know I could kick ass in the courtroom with that. But at the point in life, I realized that might not be a suitable profession for me, in the sense that in Nigeria, lawyers kind of like wear uniform. You always have to have this black robe, black suit, and stuff like that. And I used to wear a lot of blacks, but after my initiation to Obatala, I know I can wear a lot of blacks anymore. And how am I going to practice if I cannot wear that? And one of my course advisor then was just like, "What are you doing here? Is your father a lawyer? You should be doing X, Y, S, Y, and Z." I was just like, I don't want to do something just because it's what is expected of me. Like, why do everybody keep coming at me and telling me what I'm supposed to be doing? I know, but can I be different? Can I do something different? And setting my foot on this path of being of service to people, and being a minister, because I want to have my own ministry. That's why I call it Noile. I really want to evangelize for Ifa. Uh, Beside me embracing that as a calling, it's also based on the fact that there's so many misrepresentation. Uh, and as an Olorisha, born and bred, I know that people are facing a lot of persecution in Nigeria because uh, African traditional religion, spiritual, or anything spiritual that is related to African, it's not at home in Africa. There's a lot of prejudice. There's no tolerance, and somebody needs to be the voice. The movie condemns us. The story does not favor us, and we can't wait for other people to continue to write about us, to make movie about us. We have to do it on our own. And that was more of the reason why I set up Bring Folk African Image to begin with, because I want to be able to put out books, music, documentary films, something that shine lights on African culture, not just Yoruba culture alone, but African as a continent. And be that bridge that connect the two worlds, the African in the diaspora and those who are back home, and make gainful exchange on what is needed. Bring the professionalism and the financial structure, take it back home to help build, and bring the knowledge from home, the moral, the values and stuff, transport it here, and have a mixture, and then be, and then to have a balance. And sometimes it's a scary endeavor because you don't want to fail yourself, and you don't want to fail people who look up to you. Sometimes when I put word out, I have people who come into my inbox and I want to learn this, I want to know that, and I don't like being put on any kind of pedestal that will make me not want to be me, because when there is a lot of eyes on you, it makes you want to adjust the way you comport yourself, be it privately or public, because you have eyes on you now. You don't want to fail these people, but I don't want to be an hypocrite. I just want to be me. So eventually, if I have the opportunity to mentor people, I don't want it to take away my freedom. I don't want to have to contradict myself, say something and then act in the opposite of what you are preaching. But I'm going to preach the word of Ifa, whether anyone wants to listen or not. And I'm going to showcase my culture, my spiritual practice to the world, knowing what I'm supposed to do or not, wanting to do it or not, it is going to be done. Because, I just feel like I was blocking my own blessing. Not only am I doing myself a dissatisfaction, but I'm also standing in the way of other people's blessing. So from realizing that, just, what, I have to get it together. And so that other people, like I said before, can, who are apart, have aligned together, can, find fulfillment through me and my work and receive their own blessing as well. It like our ancestors, the Ifa, the Orisha, they are here to help us if we call on them. The luxury that we have, being an Olorisha, is having the benefit of direction through them and gaining that roadmap that is designed uniquely for each and every one. So it becomes a struggle when we deviate from that roadmap, when we get lost and not knowing what else to do. So it's just left for us to decide. Because for me personally, I feel restless. I feel so unfulfilled. I feel that I don't feel whole. I felt empty most of the time. And that's just because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I know a lot of people feel that way about themselves in their chosen life skill and field. When you lack the direction and purpose, you expose yourself to difficult things. You don't have boundaries, or you're not as disciplined, and you're just down for whatever because you don't know what you're doing. So using spiritual tools that are available to me is really beneficial to me, and it's going to help me help my children and the generation that is going to come after me to be able to identify themselves and know their own purpose, even though the rest is still going to be on them to embrace their own ori, because every one of us is here to do something unique. So because of that, why we initiate, why we have all this orisha, it enables me especially to be self-conscious, to set boundaries. And it's not a matter of whether your ori is good or not. It's not a matter of whether you don't have hand of Ifa, or whether you're not initiated to anything for you to reach that height. It's something that is in you. It's something that you come to heart with. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can, give it to you. And knowing yourself and the paths that you have to take in this life, that's where all the taboos that you receive during initiation comes from. The kind of business you do, the kind of food that you can eat or not, and the type of romantic partner that you can allow in your life, and business that you can engage in, and people that you let in your life. But the downside of it is just like it makes life more, I don't want to say difficult, but a little bit, it takes you out of your comfort zone. Because a lot of us don't really have that discipline, that strict discipline, that that the consequence we actually give impact our life negatively. So it's actually really a little bit hard to adjust to using Orisha tools and follow the tenets to using as a guiding tool for your life. So when I said where was I, that I wasn't feeling fulfilled and reliving some certain life experiences over and over again. And life is supposed to be lived forward. You don't live it backward. So when I realized that I was going in a circle, I have to take a pause and reevaluate my life. Because if you're on a train and it's not connecting, when it gets to a certain stop, everybody stop. But you have a connecting flight to, you travel internationally and you miss your connecting flight, you cannot get to your destination unless you reconnect yourself. And that is what I did. Being a spiritual person and just know stuff, I had to, take a look into my own life and just decided to bring this forward just in case there are other people who are feeling disconnect, feeling underachieved, not really feeling fulfilled. And sometimes when you're on that spiritual journey, and I'm just putting it out there that because there's a lot of what do I call this? Ooh, like when you take a cleanse, when they prepare spiritual baths for you to cleanse you, to just strip you of all negativity and stuff like that. Sometimes most of this blockage that we experience that is blocking us from actually achieving success, or what's the English word that I want to use? Anyway, moving forward, some of the trauma, yes, it's trauma. Some of the trauma that we experience that causes this disconnection could be since childhood, and a lot of people hold on to certain things in their past from childhood, which can also stop them from moving forward. So, what we do is just, you go back to that childhood, especially if you start using some Ifa medicine. You start having dreams about seeing yourself being young again, seeing the people that you grow up with and stuff like that. And it may just be because the dream is just taking you back to the beginning of the problem, and just maybe some words need to be said, some action needs to be taken, or maybe there's a certain enemy that needs to be cut down right there so that they don't grow and come into the future and affect things. And this is why Ifa is so great. This is why a boy is so important, because if I will talk about your present, take you to the past, and then go to the future before you through Ebo, and then fix things for you. And what more can we ask for? Embrace your answer the call of destiny.